Main Street Advisory Board regular meeting. Today is Monday, July 27, 2020 at 12 p.m. We're here at City Council Chambers, at City Hall, 100 South Monroe Street, Eagle Pass, Maverick County, Texas, 78852. We're going to go ahead and move to the oath of office to newly appointed members.
Yes, as you guys are aware, on the July 15, 2020 meeting, you were all appointed to the Main Street Advisory Board, so congratulations. So we're gonna go ahead and administrate the oath of office. If I can have everyone please stand up. Raise your right hand, please. And you're gonna go ahead and just read it, okay? So you both have two oath of office in front of you, so we're gonna go ahead and read them, and then I want you to sign them both, okay? You can go ahead and start. I, please state your name.
I, Marshall Lopez, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties as a member of the Main Street Advisory Board of the City of Eagle Pass, Texas, and will, to the best of my abilities, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, and of the charter and ordinances of this city. And I furthermore solemnly swear that I have not directly or indirectly paid, offered, or promised to pay, contributed, or promised to contribute any money or valuable things, or promised any public office or employment as a reward to secure my appointment or the confirmation thereof. So help me God.
Okay, now you can sit and sign both, please. As soon as they're signed, if you can just present them to the person next to you, so come my way, please. Thank you.
Ms. Hartford didn't make it?
She wasn't able to make it.
Huh?
She wasn't able to make it today. So I'm gonna go ahead and quickly just notarize one of them really quick, and then we can move on to the meeting, okay?
I'm gonna get stamping away.
Has been notarized, and congratulations, you are all official members of the Main Street Advisory Board.
All right.
And we can continue now, Mr. Marjo.
All right, guys, so let's make sure that we establish quorum. Now that it's official, we are all here. We have Christy, myself, Mayor, and Ms. Baniela. And then we have Erica, Joe, Mr. Marcus.
Thank you.
All right, guys, so now let's we have established quorum. Let's go to the Pledge of Allegiance. If everybody wants to rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, guys, that's good. Moving on to the citizens communications.
There was none submitted.
Okay, we're good. So we're gonna move to, we wanna jump to the selection of chairperson and vice chairperson?
That's item number 1, correct.
Okay, item number 1. What do we do now?
Who's the chairperson?
We don't, this was a brand new, if you wanna appoint someone, you can appoint a chairperson and a vice chairperson.
Are you good for chairperson?
I wouldn't mind the responsibility.
Christy, has he been doing a good job?
Yes.
All right, well, I nominate
Ms.
Marjo for
Marjo
chairperson.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
And
We have a-
Christy for chairperson?
For vice?
Vice,
And Christie
sorry.
for vice? Okay.
Vice.
All right.
So we have a motion by Mr. Luis Fuentes. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Marmo. Okay, congratulations.
Yeah, we're flying through this.
No. All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, guys. All right, moving to section 2, the minutes. Approval of the minutes for November 1st, 2019 and July 29th, 2020.
Since we only have a couple that were here for that, which was Marshall and Christie,
Mhm.
how do we do it?
They can still do it. They
They
can
can
still
still
vote.
do
Can you just update us on what happened that one?
Yeah, you
What-
can
what was
still vote.
presented?
This was a meeting we had via Zoom, right?
Yes.
Or no, actually, this one's the one prior.
Okay, this was prior to that.
Yeah.
Do we have a motion?
For the one that was via Zoom on June 29th, it was for the facade for the new plasma center where the old Piedras Negras used to be.
That was the one from
Okay.
June, right?
That was the one from June. From November, I was not present.
I'm
Okay.
looking at the one from November, so we had, this was the one with 398 Main Street, which was the Aztec Theater.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Fix the roof and
Mhm.
some adjustments on the site.
Where the door was covered, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we had, if you recall, Melrose.
Yes.
180 Main Street, that's the other one, that's already completed the project. And that was it, those were the two items that were discussed at that.
So move.
A motion to approve.
Okay.
I'll second the motion.
Well, it was
Oh.
first by Mayor and then second by Christie.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to item 3, the workshop, overview of the Main Street Program, new board member training.
I know we had a workshop, but it's something that's gonna be very brief, because I know, we'll keep on discussing as we go through the rest of the meetings that are gonna be conducted via Zoom.
Mhm.
But, I just want, again, welcome you all to the new board members to the Main Street Advisory Board. Thank you all for serving once again. Maybe some of you, it might be a refresher, or, what is it that we're doing? What is the Main Street Program? A lot of people don't know that the Main Street Program has been in existence since 1980. And Eagle Pass was one of the first communities that was initiated into the state program as a whole, with, I believe it was back then about 20-something more communities. But just to let you know, it is in 1980. It was, during that time, that's when they started noticing the decline of downtowns. Malls started opening and highways started getting built, so people were eventually slowly moving away from downtowns. So this program was created to go ahead and aid and try to avoid the decline or actually the abandonment at some points of a downtown. So we are part of that. It is part of the Community Heritage Development Division of the Texas Historical Commission, so we fall under all that. And I'll send you this, you already have a copy of this, but I'll send you the link in case you want to know what Main Street America is.
We are also part of the Main Street America. So the way it works, we fall under the Texas Main Street Program, which is in Austin, Texas. We as a city were recertified in 2010 as a Main Street community. So then the people up in Austin, they gave us design assistant training and so on how to go about with a plan to revitalize the downtown. Also from that, and then it scales up from Texas Main Street to the National Main Street America, which that's pretty much your protocol of the way it trickles down to our community now, which is the city of Eagle Pass. We have in total, I believe, 86 communities in Texas that are participating in with the same mission that we have to revitalize our downtown. So I know some of you haven't gone to trainings. I know, Marjorie, you've gone to some. But it'd be great, like, once they start again, that we can get everyone to go to the trainings they do in other communities and so on. So we hadn't been following this, and this is what we were talking about earlier, Christy. We want to start implementing a plan that we're going to follow now, which is going to be separated in 4 different categories, which is organization, promotion, design, and economic vitality. And what I want and what we want is in each one of these categories to have one of you represent that category. And that way we have a plan for each one. At the end, it becomes one as a whole. So I'll go through these as we go through different meetings as to what they are. Organization, of course, we have to have an organized plan for what we're going to do. This is where the master plan is going to fall into for downtown. Promotion, that's something we've been doing a lot, and something, as you know, Marjorie and everyone else, Promotion now, of course, social media, where we started hitting it and hitting it and hitting it, promoting the downtown. So we got to continue with that. We got to continue promoting our downtown. Design, make sure that we follow a design and protect the little that we have of our historic buildings, that they don't get altered, that they don't get. There are some buildings that have lost its historic integrity already, but we have had some buildings that went back to they gave it another design again that molds into what a downtown should be.
Perfect example, Melrose.
Yeah, Melrose was one of them. One of them that was very impressive was Trevino's Music Store. Trevino's Music Store was a brick, 80s type of design, just brick building. And then they stuccoed it and they gave it that design at the top, the cornice with the stone and all that. So they made it fit back in the downtown. So that's an example of, taking a building that didn't fit anymore in the downtown and making it fit again. But then again, we have still a lot of buildings that still have the historic character and we want to make sure we preserve those. So economic vitality, so we got to have that plan. I know initially as a city and as the Main Street program, initially we were just facade restoration. Okay, here within the last year, we started upscaling. We started going into recruitment. We started recruiting businesses. And I know Arturo and I, we would go to businesses that are not in the downtown to talk to them and convince them to move to downtown. So we have to look for that building or that business that fits in a downtown, which is your business that really shines, that stands out, that they're very creative at what they do. People that do handmade things. Do they fit in the downtown? Yes, they do. But we need that mix also. We need the restaurant, we need the bar, we need the service station. We need all of these that at the end are going to combine and make one, which is our downtown. So economic vitality, we need to make sure we now move into that era of recruitment, of what we want, more of a cherry picking type of thing.
Like we create a culture.
Create the culture. We want to create, that's very important, People are after a lifestyle now. People want to be in that that place, that store, that they want to take a selfie and tell everyone, hey, I'm here. So we want to make sure we follow that and we push that into the ones that we have there, that they're following that role also as well, promoting themselves as well. So economic vitality, that's going to be a big one that we're going to have. Any questions you might have right now? So there's something that I already mentioned right now. We are a recertified community since 2010. We are a department of the City of Eagle Pass, and we fall under economic development under Arturo Marquez, and certified by the Texas Main Street Program, and we are accredited by Main Street America. I haven't told you all, but we got, when I was out, we got the news that we were accredited by the National Main Street Program. Not a lot of communities get that, but we got it because of our efforts too. And that we get graded. I have to turn in reports and everything throughout the year, so they kind of follow our progress. So depending on our progress, they grade us, and depending on our grade, they decide whether we get accredited or we don't. So we receive the accreditation again for 2019 going to 2020.
Awesome.
So again, going back to that, objectives, and we were talking about this, and I've spoken to some of you before over the role that we want to take now. We want to create an environment, and this is our role as Main Street. Us, as the Main Street program, we're not there to run someone's cash register or a business. The business is theirs. But we're there to make it easier for a business to get off the ground. We need to create that environment for them. How do we create that environment? Very much how we've been doing. Here a few years, downtown was kind of dark at night. So now you see that project with the LED lights. Man, you walk at night now on Main Street, it's completely lit. That's a good example. Also, One thing that we started doing here recently was pushing the arts in the downtown. The art center that the city of Eagle Pass approved and we went through with, I think it's a great program to continue to, we need to focus on this one, to promote and to push. Because before the pandemic, man, it was taking off. Marshall, he gave a few classes there. How were they?
They were awesome.
They were sold out. I mean,
Yeah.
Also when we were at it was cool because when we were at the art classes for the children on Saturday, all the parents, they would come back and they were like, oh, we were at Orly's Barbecue. Oh, we were at this other store. Oh, we went over here. So that's what we want, you know. We want to have them there for 3-4 hours, but they go out to the other businesses that are eventually going to benefit. Same thing with the art classes at night. As soon as they were done, everyone went to the bars. So it's serving its purpose from the economic point of view. So we want to continue with that and create more ideas on how we can capitalize on the art program from an economic standpoint. Provide financial support. The grants, of course, the facade grant that we have has been very successful. We have, we're developing other strategies that you all are going to be working on as well when it comes to grants. We have enhanced the facade grant that we have. Remember before it was only facade? Well, then from facade, we went to fixing the roof. From fixing the roof, now we added, man, up to the TABC license where we reimburse you on that. Restaurant equipment and electrical equipment and so on. So we've moved on and we want to continue exploring other ideas that we might not know right now. The provide marketing support, which again goes to promotion. The Small Business Development Center does great trainings and they continue doing great trainings for small businesses. So we want to continue working with the Small Business Development Center to keep on pushing this, and they do a lot of social media trainings as well. Biggest one, encourage advocacy for our business community. We want to be strong advocates for the downtown. We want to sell the downtown. We want to tell people why it's important to come to downtown, what we have downtown. And I know you get it also. We still get people that don't know where your business is at. We still get those people, you know, but we want to make sure that everyone in town knows what downtown has to offer. And that, once the master plan comes also, that you all will be working with, that's going to play a major role with that as well, at that point. Any questions? Just to let you know how successful the grant program has been since we started with it. These are the figures. And this going back to 2012. From the city, from the grant, our investment was $333,000. But those $333,000 generated $2.9 million in the downtown of investment. So it works. Man, if I can get someone to invest my money and get me that, heck, I'll do it at any time, you know. But that's a great return that we have. We as a city, what the city has done. Another thing, the city of Eagle Pass, on the grant, now we changed it also to dollar for dollar up to $20,000 for when you do a mixed-use building. You have residential and commercial on the bottom, which we have one in the works right now. Right, Arturo? We have one in the works already, the first one. We go up to $20,000. Hardly any other community does that. Just to give you an example, our neighboring community, out west, they only go up to $2,500, dollar for dollar to $2,500, something like that. I might be wrong, but their grant match doesn't go that far. But the city does, even before when it was up to $10,000, it was great. So we want to keep pushing the grant. The grant works. The grant has been changing the buildings little by little. They're spread out, but I'm starting to see them all fall in on Main Street now. So that's just for something, you know, for y'all to know. Other programs that have come out from the Main Street program are when we started with the live music on the streets and other events like the Victorian House and so on. So the car show, which were very successful also as well. But all these events, they started here, and We want to continue also with that trend. We want to make sure we're organized well. We're well organized to create these type of events where we get all the businesses involved also at the same time. The Rio Grande, the kayaking that we have going on and that we started, it also started here in the Main Street program. Now, why is this important? You might say, well, it's in the river. But once that develops into a big part of the community, it'll start attracting people from other places. And if we can come up with a good plan to develop the river for recreational use, I guarantee you we'll start seeing more people coming from elsewhere to come visit the area. So that's another thing that we're going to be discussing through the Main Street Board, through a plan on developing the Rio Grande River, the Rio Grande area, which is 3/4 of a mile from the ramp to Bridge 2. All that area, how can we develop that for recreational use? If you go to any other community, what is one of their, that they're thriving in a lot in the downtown? What is it that they have? They have something that has to do with the outdoors. You go to the Comal River. Communities that are along the Comal River, man, they're doing really good. So we have a Rio Grande. Can we benefit from it? Yes, we can. So we need to create a plan how we're gonna have those people that go down there, make sure we pull them out and bring them out to Main Street and make sure we sell to them as well. Art and Culture Center, that's revitalization of the Fort Duncan. That was the time when the Fort Duncan was really, so we took that under our wing through the Main Street program as well, and we made sure we had that Fort Duncan Museum take off. Through the master plan, one thing we're gonna be working on now, how we start linking the museum with the art center, with the Riskin, with all these other things that are on Main Street. How do we make Adams Street accessible to lead you and attractive to lead you right into downtown from the Fort Duncan area? So we're going to be playing with all that. The Art and Culture Center also, we started working with it. We started working with art people. If y'all remember going to those art shows that we had at the old pharmacy building,
Yeah.
where we had the AC turned on all the way down to 50 because it wasn't cool anymore, but those ideas, I mean, they came up and started working with our art people, local art people here, and eventually, we now have an art center. So we want to continue with that, like I said earlier, we want to continue with the art program. I know there's something that's still up there through the grant process, which is the Riskins Entertainment and Business Center. So that's another one, that business incubator, museum, another museum there, lease space that we're going to have, and so on. So that's another thing we want to concentrate on, because that will make the downtown, from how I see it, it'll make it explode, totally. Downtown LED project, we spoke about that also. That was another project that started with the Main Street program. So, and we want to continue on. We want to make sure we're progressive on this. We want to make sure we are dynamic also on this, because we got to throw everything at it. And I think we're on the right path. I think as long as we continue with that vision and that mission and that strive that we have to get our downtown going. I know right now times are hard. As we are seeing it, everyone across the nation is going through some hard times, but God willing, we'll make sure y'all pray a lot, make sure we get out of this. That's all I have for you. Oh, finally, produce a plan that sells a lifestyle. Keep this in mind all the time. This is what I keep in mind. Live, work, and play model. Turn that into downtown. How do you work there? How do you live there? And you go to find entertainment there as well. One community created. It's still legal pass, but it's its own little separate community. So let's create that. Let's create that downtown. I think we deserve it. I think our community deserves it. And I feel we're on the right path to making this happen.
And just to add to what you're saying, Joe, like we talked about this the last meeting, is right now we're in a in a slump, but right now is a great time to plan and get everything in motion so that when we open up again, it's gonna be like, open up with a bang. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, we said at the last meeting, sidewalk projects, all these projects, they take months, a year to complete. The pandemic, really, it's gonna take about it, from what it looks like. Pandemics last a year, 2 years. So right now is the right time to start working on these. That way we create the playground
Yeah.
that we want to create for when it's, and I guarantee you, once we go back, God willing, once we go back, everyone's going to be so eager
To get out.
to get out. I'm going to appreciate a Christmas on Main like I've never appreciated a Christmas on Main before.
That's for sure.
I'll dress up as Santa Claus. I'll do whatever, but you can guarantee I'll be there. I'll kayak all day, on one of those events. But
I love it.
I know Mr. Cifuentes has always been a big supporter of the Main Street program. I don't think I have not seen him at one event that we have had. I've seen him at the Victorian House events, at the kayaking, at the races, at the car shows, everyone, especially at the kayaking, he goes always there, getting ready to paddle. But so there's a purpose for everything we're doing. There's a purpose for, back then when we started with the music shows at the Victorian House, we were recruiting musicians. We were trying to see which ones fit and which ones didn't. So we would do them frequently. Let's do another one, let's do another one. Trying to find, and so now we have the Art Center. There they go, yeah. We get to use them now. So, and very appreciative with all the people in the art scene. They've been nothing but a blessing as well.
Great things to come.
Anyone have any questions over this item or any comments?
We're good.
Okay.
But this one's gonna be a no action item, because it was just a workshop, so we can move into item number 4, I think.
Oh,
So, yeah,
Is it
That's 4.
this
you
one?
did it, no, it's gonna be item number 4, I think you made a mistake. So it'll be item number 4. Listed as 5, but it'll be item number 4.
Oh, okay. So, item number 4 would be the session of possible action on a facade grant application submitted by Abraham Nuez for storefront improvements located on 480 Main Street.
So, Mr. Nunez, he reached out to us because he's opening up a business where the Hobo Shop used to be at.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
You have your board packets right there.
Okay.
So he submitted, putting a sign of what he's going to be doing there. So I threw him an idea, hey, can you put one of these signs that make it look really downtownish? The ones that you can see from both sides of the street. He said, yeah, I'll throw it in. So on the package, you have 2 quotes, which now will require only 2 quotes from, it's called Wedding and Photo Cinema, and his business name is called Filmer, which is there as well. So he's going to be putting those 2 signs. He has the quotes, the prices. One of them is $31.39.25, and the other one is $30.48, $3,048. So he has the 2 signs. I included information because we always need to include information on the property. The taxes are current, so you have your tax information there as well. However, he's just applying for the sign, but one thing I told him, and one of my recommendations is, for you all and for us to recommend, there's some maintenance needed on the building. A power wash on the storefront.
Yeah.
And you see this thing that hangs out on the side where they had taken all the,
I go by this.
right? Yeah, you see it all the time, so that's sticking out,
And
so.
when I look outside my window, I see it all
Yeah.
the time, so yes.
So I was like, they need to cut that and make it even.
Yes.
The boards?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and do either a power wash or a repaint.
Actually, it's beyond power wash. It's gonna definitely be repainted
Probably need to
in order
repaint.
to be able to store it, because it's decaying and it's
Yeah.
kind of.
Because where they had that roof going to the front, it kind of
You
just,
can see that.
you can see the stain.
Yeah, you power wash it, you're gonna take off half of the wall.
Yeah,
Although one thing that's really cool there,
I love it.
I told Mr. Nunez that over here on this side, there's like what you call a ghost mural. If
Oh,
you remove
really?
the paint, there's a mural there of a sign of a business that used to be there before.
Cool.
It's green and yellow. Carmen Ravena had found it when she
Had the
opened the
pizzeria.
pizza there.
Uh-huh.
But then she covered it again. I was like, covered it. Those are very attractive. So I was like, hey, that'd be good if you can get that sign or something. So,
I want to
but
see it too, I just do
yeah.
this so bad.
so he's gonna be told also to remove this, the
Yes.
boards that are there,
Uh-huh.
and we don't need it anymore. So that's just taking, it's gonna make it look kind of tacky, have a really nice sign, and then have this right there.
Yeah.
So my recommendation is we approve it. Also to request cleanup of the facade of the building, which is removing, either repainting or power washing or adjusting certain areas that are there.
Is the sign gonna be a lit sign?
Yes, it's lit.
Perfect, okay. I was wondering that.
How much is the grant gonna be for?
So if he goes with the, let's say 3,000, 1,500. So it's dollar for dollar like that.
I'll motion to approve with the facade grant for the sign and request that we either paint or clean up the building and remove the wood.
Well, and if that costs more, then
Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna.
it's gonna match accordingly.
Yeah, because they need to do the cleanup and all that, so I'm sure that's gonna be a few other $100 that are gonna
Is
go
he
in.
thinking about putting the shades on it or not? Is that something he's considering doing,
Which one?
the shades?
No,
Has he considered, because you know on the side, it
Yeah.
has them and they're falling, you know, that whole,
Yeah.
that whole thing is like falling apart.
he said, once his business takes off,
Uh-huh.
he is considering and doing that. For right now, he just wants to put the signs.
Did he buy the building or is he?
No, he's
That
leasing.
was my next question, is the
He's
building
leasing.
He's
new?
leasing it out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot that he's
Yeah,
doing
so-
for a lease.
Yeah, for at least it is, you know. But it'd be great to start having those, you know,
Oh, they
type
need
of
to.
canopies. He said it really depends how my business takes on. One thing he said, I'm opening because regardless, people are still getting married. Yeah,
Oh,
they're still wanting
okay.
videos, so,
Mhm.
so it's, the rent's not that much, he said, so,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
he said that.
The first year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, once this changes, you know, I start going up.
This is
But-
gonna be pretty.
It's gonna be a pretty one, yeah. So, we have a motion.
One motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Okay.
So is that it?
So we have a motion to adjourn,
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
second by Christie. All those in favor?
Aye. Can I pound the gavel?
Yeah.
Yeah.